Now, students, today we will start that is, or today we'll do that is commercial cells or the batteries. Now, commercial cells or batteries are of two types. One is your primary cell, another is your secondary cells. So, the primary cell you can see the dry cell, the picture is in front of your screen, we can say that. But before going to the primary cell or the secondary cell, we can say that. First, we need to understand that what should be the requirements, got it, to make a battery or a commercial cell. What should be the requirements? What should be the following requirements to make a battery or a cell? Point number one, you may write it down. It should be light in weight and compact in size. It should be light in weight and compact in size. It should be light in weight and compact in size. Point number two, its voltage should not vary appreciably. Its voltage should not vary appreciably during the use, you can say. Its voltage should not vary appreciably during the use. And the last is that it should have a reasonable long life. It should have a reasonably long life. Means the battery should last longer. It's not that you're putting the battery and it's being done, it's finished. So these are the three things or the three requirements which is required to make a battery. That it should be light in weight and it should be compact in size. It should be smaller, portable, and its voltage should not change. It should not vary. Got it? It's not that sometimes higher, sometimes very very low. It should have a reasonably long life. Means it can last a little bit longer. It's not that it's going to last for ever, but it should last a little bit longer. Now next, after that we'll come to the primary cells. The primary cells are those cells in which the cell reaction occurs only in one direction and the reaction cannot be reversed by the external energy source. Now I've given the definition, you can see in my notes, you can see the definitions are there about the primary cells and a lot of things I've given to you. Got it? So what I said, a primary cell is a cell in which the cell reaction occurs only in one direction and the reaction cannot be reversed by any external energy, we can say that. Again I repeat, a primary cell is a cell in which the cell reaction occurs only in one direction. That means in the forward direction. That means it can only be discharged. Got it? Not recharged. And the reaction cannot be reversed. We cannot reverse the reaction by the external energy source. By using any energy, you cannot reverse the reaction, we can say that. Now, primary cell is your dry cell or Leclanche cell. Then we are having the mercury cell, we are having it, clear. And mercury cell is also called as Rubin-Mallory cell. We can also say it as mercury cell, clear. Now in front of you the dry cell you can see is there, it's there, the dry cell. Now you see the dry cell, I have shown you the parts of the dry cell of battery. Everybody has seen it, but still then it is being there in front of you. The positive terminal at the top, which is your cap, the metal cap, the brass cap or the metal cap, we can say that, the positive terminal. And the bottom you are having the zinc electrode, that is your negative terminal, we can say that, the zinc electrode at the bottom, clear. So and we are having, that is the electrolyte as ammonium chloride, NH4Cl. As I said you, the zinc casing, the negative part is the anode, we can say that, and the manganese dioxide, MnO2, we have taken it there, MnO2. So what is the function of MnO2 there? What is the function of MnO2? The MnO2 actually what it does is that it acts as an oxidant, MnO2. Now MnO2, what it will do is that manganese dioxide, so you can see the graphite rod, you can see it is being surrounded. The positive terminal means the black one, you can see that is a graphite rod or the carbon electrode, you can see, and it is being surrounded by the black color, that is nothing but oxide, that is known as MnO2, that powdered MnO2, we can say that. Of course MnO2 is powdered only, in powdered state we are getting it. Now the space between the zinc container anode and the graphite rod is being filled with NH4Cl and ZnCl2. NH4Cl you can see is there, and zinc chloride. Alright, it is being also, it's being taken, ammonium chloride and as well as zinc chloride we take it. Alright, now next is, after that it is being wrapped over, you have seen a battery all of you, isn't it? Protective covering is there, we are wrapping it over a what you can say, an covering, that is a nickel or a metal covering we are putting it, and after that we are putting a thick cardboard, or what you can do is that we are putting a thick cardboard and over that we are putting a metal covering, we are doing it, isn't it? The cell is being sealed from the top by the help of a pitch or the wax. It is being put. You can see the red or the black color. It is being there. Got it? It is being there. So already I said you the function of manganese dioxide oxidant means it will give you oxygen. It will provide oxygen. Alright, that is MnO2. And basically in the cathode reaction you will see that MnO2 is being used. So you have understood the parts. We can see basically it consists ammonium chloride, NH4Cl and ZnCl2 also. We are having MnO2 which acts as an oxidant, we can say, and zinc casing is there which acts as anode, and the positive terminal is nothing but the brass cap or the metal cap. The carbon electrode which continues with the carbon electrode, the graphite, we can say that, and this is separator. You can see it's there. It is nothing but separator means that the cardboard covering, a hard cardboard covering, and the protective covering from the top we are having a metal covering, we can say that. Clear? Now this is the parts of the battery you have understood. Now next is that what the reaction is taking place. See, the reactions I've already have given you in my notes. I've given you. Now once more I'm coming to the reaction and I'll explain you the reaction. I'm coming to it and I'll explain you the reaction. You can see now, you can see there what happens is the cell operate, the zinc is oxidized to Zn2 plus. See there, the anode reaction is Zn minus 2E minus, because I said you the zinc acts as an anode, you remember it. So Zn minus 2E minus gives Zn2 plus, you got it. Now this ammonium ion which you are getting it from the ammonium chloride, it gains that 2 electron which zinc is losing now, that is gains that 2 electrons to form ammonia and hydrogen gas at the cathode. So ultimately the cell reaction is that zinc plus ammonium salt will give you zinc plus ammonia plus hydrogen. And you can see is that MnO2, what it does, it acts as an oxidant. I said you MnO2 reacts with that particular hydrogen to give this particular compound. But basically you need to understand that MnO2 provides oxygen, and this oxygen reacts with hydrogen to form water, and that water is being released. Got it? From the gaps you can say the water is being given out, and this EMF of the cell is nothing but it is 1.6 volt, but actually we get it as 5 volt, we can say maximum, we can say that. Clear? And in alkaline dry cell, the alkaline batteries is available in the market, which is, what is the name of that company? It is said to be as name, I am forgetting that name, whatever it is, the alkaline battery. So that is we can say that it is similar to the ordinary dry cell only, but it contains potassium hydroxide, as instead of ammonium chloride it contains potassium hydroxide. The reaction in the cell alkali dry cell is this. Suppose if it is an alkaline dry cell means what is the name of the battery? It is available in the market, it's shown in the TV also. I am forgetting the name of the company. Got it? So that is alkaline batteries, you must be knowing it. So that particular batteries contains this electrolyte as potassium hydroxide. So zinc reacts with OH minus ion, which is we are getting from potassium hydroxide, zinc hydroxide, anode reaction. This MnO2 gains the 2 electrons along with the water which is being released to form MnO, a compound is being formed, MnOH. Got it? And ultimately the cell reaction, you can say at the bottom it is being given. So these reactions also you can say which is taking place in the alkaline battery, and the above reaction which I have explained to you, that is taking place in the ordinary dry cell. Ordinary dry cell means the dry cell which is available in the market now, 1.5 volt battery, the pencil battery and all those things, we can say that. Clear? So now this is the reaction which is taking place in the dry cell. Now dry cell, for what purpose it is used I need not have to say you the dry cell. Next after that we will come to the mercury cell. The mercury cell, as I said you, is nothing but known as the Rubin Mallory cell, it is being said to be as. So in the mercury cell you can see same thing, we are having a zinc anode, and basically the mercury cell I am telling you, which is being used for what? It is being used for camera, it is being used for watches, it is being used for hearing aids. Got it? In ears we are putting this, the people those who are not able to listen, not able to hear it properly, so they are using the machine, they are putting a machine in their ear, that is in their ear of course. So that is said to be as hearing aids, we can say that. So it consists of zinc mercury amalgam as the anode, that is zinc anode, which is nothing but zinc mercury amalgam. For that reason it is said to be as a mercury cell, and a paste of mercuric oxide and carbon acts as the cathode, we can say that. See written there, MgO mixed with graphite, that acts as a cathode. So first you understood what is cathode and which is the anode. Done. Now after that the electrolyte used in the cell is a paste of KOH and ZNO. See that electrolyte just above that, KOH saturated with ZNO in absorbent material, that is in which it absorbs, we can say that, KOH and ZNO, and that is the electrolyte, we can say that. Clear? So electrolyte you understood, electrode you understood. Now the reactions which is being taking place. Got it? So zinc actually it reacts with OH minus to give you zinc oxide and water. Alright, now zinc, how it will react? Zinc will lose 2 electrons, Zn minus 2e minus, because zinc acts as anode, na? So zinc will lose 2 electron to form Zn2 plus. Zn2 plus will react with OH minus, 2 OH minus definitely, because Zn2 plus means 2 OH minus, so it will form zinc hydroxide or zinc oxide and water will be released. Now mercuric oxide, which is a cathode, which react will take these 2 electrons from the anode along with water to form mercury and OH minus ion is released. Ultimately the cell reaction you will be getting it, Zn plus HgO gives ZnO plus Hg. Again I repeat the anode reactions, or I can show you the anode reactions which I am having it. You can see there the anode reaction. This is for the battery I am having it. I don't have the anode reactions here. So whatever it is, I told you the anode and cathode reactions. The zinc plus OH minus will give you zinc oxide plus water. Now zinc will not react with OH minus. I said you zinc will lose 2 electron to form Zn2 plus, Zn minus 2e minus to form Zn2 plus. Zn2 plus will react with OH minus to form zinc oxide and water. Got it? Now mercuric oxide, which is a cathode, will gain these 2 electrons which is lost by what you can say anode, and reacts with water to form mercury, liquid mercury and OH minus. So ultimately you add up the two reactions, you will be getting Zn plus HgO will give you ZnO plus Hg. This is the overall reaction. And the potential of the cell, the maximum voltage you are getting it from the cell is 1.35 volt. The potential of the cell remains constant not only during its operation but throughout its life. For that reason mercury cell is used, because it provides a very low potential but for a longer duration of time, because I said you this is being used in watches, it is being used in camera, it is being used in hearing aids. A very small current is required, a small potential difference is required, but for a longer duration of time. Okay, understood what I said? Thank you very much.